Hey book nerds, welcome to my channel. So today I'm doing my final one of these videos, and that is the most surprising books of 2018. So these are books that I didn't expect to love but I really did, or maybe I didn't love them but they were better than I thought they would be. This is my shortest video by far. I've only got 4 books to talk about here, which is to be expected because I don't generally read books that I don't think I'm gonna love or really like. So the first book I want to talk about is my favourite by far out of all of these, and that is #MurderTrending by Gretchen McNeil. It's difficult for me to sum up into words what this book is, and I really loved it. It was almost on my best books list, but I thought it fit better on this list. But it is one of my favourite books of 2018. So this is about a world where this prison system exists. So people get sent, if anyone does any kind of crime at all, they get sent to this prison. And in this prison, it's basically a reality TV show. So there are 7, I think, assassins that are owned by this place. And what happens is you live on this island and it's its own little community, and then at some point you will be attacked by one of these assassins and killed. And your death will be streamed to loads of people, and it's a massive thing. And yeah, all the murderers are themed. So there's like Prince Slice is the one that they talk about on the blurb because that's the first one who attacks the main character, and that's like he dresses up his victims in princess attire, and then there's like some kind of weird obstacle course they have to go through that is the same as like the princess theme. And they're all similarly weird like that. There's like a hipster one, there's a woman who is really into crafting and kills people through crafting methods. And I'm not going to say anything more because part of the joy of the story was reading about all these absolutely bizarre assassins. But yeah, it's just such a weird story and so unique. And I was surprised by how much I loved it because I thought it was going to be awful, because I mean it's called #MurderTrending. That's not really a title that inspires a lot of confidence in its content, but honestly, if you like the sound of the blurb at all, I would recommend picking this up because it was such a pleasant surprise for me. I absolutely loved it, and yeah, it's just the sheer creativity in the story and the fact that it's so unique that makes it really special for its absolute weirdness. So yeah, that was a really pleasant surprise. All of the other books on this list I didn't love as much as that one, but I did rate them around 3.5 stars, and they were very pleasant surprises for me. And the next one is Invincible Summer by Moskowitz. I've only heard one person talk about this on BookTube, and they actually talked about it right after I read it, which was a bit weird, but this is marketed entirely wrong. It's got like a sexy girl stretched out and it's her stomach in a bikini, and it's like marketed as a summer romance type thing for young adults, but it's actually a really bleak, intense, contemporary story about this one family that takes place over the course of 4 summers. There's actually 2 families, but it's mainly focused on one family, and then there's some characters from the other family that play a part. But our main character is Chase, and it's kind of him dealing with how his family changes over time, various tragedies. There's like a weird dysfunctional relationship going on with this girl whereby she's sleeping with him but also his brother, but they all know and they're all kind of okay with it. And it was just a really interesting story. It was very vulnerable. It had really intense impact, and it wasn't what I was expecting at all. Like I said, I think it's marketed slightly wrong because it makes you think you're just going to get this random, nothing, fluffy summer romance story, and it's actually really interesting look at the family and relationships. And yeah, I highly recommend it if any of those things sound like they interest you, because I don't normally read contemporaries, and it really stuck with me and had an impact, which was nice. Having just said that I don't really read contemporaries, the next book I'm going to talk about is a contemporary, and that is Eleanor in Park by Rowell. This book is hyped up, or at least talked about a lot, and I know a lot of people do love this book, but I didn't expect to. I thought I had to read it because I'd heard so many people talking about it, and I don't dislike romance contemporaries, it's just it has to be done well for me to like it. And again, this was not what I was expecting at all. This is not a fluffy love story. This is pretty intense and real, even with the flowery writing style. It's very... the characters are so vivid, even though they don't really seem like real people. It's so hard to explain, but they're just... it was a really interesting relationship to read about, and it wasn't your stereotypical romance. Yeah, so for those reasons it was a lovely surprise for me, and I ended up giving it like 4 stars, which is much higher than I thought I would rate it. And the final book I'm going to talk about is a contemporary... it's not a contemporary romance, but again it's kind of marketed as contemporary romance, and this has been on my TBR list for like years and years, and I finally got around to reading it. And that is 20 Boy Summer by Sarah Ockler. This, it says it's about a girl who goes on holiday with her best friend and decides to kiss 20 guys over the course of this holiday, and it makes it sound like it's going to be this random fluffy young adult thing that you don't have to even think about. What it's actually about is a girl who was... her best friend had a brother who died, and our main character had just started dating that brother right before he died, and no one knew that they were dating, and so it's her trying to deal with her grief without letting her best friend know what's going on. Meanwhile, you suspect her best friend already knows, and she's desperately trying to get her friend to confide in her. And again, it's just this really emotional, really quite sad look at grief. It really upset me. I've been lucky enough not to really lose anyone close to me, but I'm in a very, very happy relationship at the moment, and when I was reading it, just the mere thought of potentially losing that relationship in such a permanent way was horrible, and it had a really intense impact on me. And yeah, this is not at all what I was expecting. I still only gave it like 3.5 stars. It didn't... there were elements that weren't perfect and stuff, but it was a really emotional read, and far, far better than I expected. I imagine if I'd been younger when I read it, which is when I actually put it on my TBR, I would have loved it a lot more, and if it was my genre I would have loved it a lot more as well. But yeah, so those are the most surprising books of 2018 for me. Sorry it's a short list, but like I said, I don't tend to pick up things that I don't think I'm gonna love. Let me know what was your most surprising book of 2018. I'd love to hear similar stories from other people. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give me a thumbs up if you did, and I'll see you next time.